You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
We're going to start the recording and call this episode 11 of the Boss Hog of Liberty. And we were just discussing, myself and Dakota were having a little pre-chat here, and apparently he has company issued underwear for his job. He's not a dancer; he's a lineman, or
Substation,
a substation engineer technician of sorts. And he has company-issued underwear in case something goes terribly wrong, and that way you don't burn your literally burn your dick off.
How it goes, like what I was explaining to Jeremiah, is that if you are wearing an article of clothing, say like your undershirt or your underwear, in this instance, if it is not 100% all-natural fibers, then instead of just burning, it will fuse to your skin, and everything has to be removed. So obviously, the underwear is of high importance,
right?
When we're talking about removal.
So the show today is myself, Dakota, as always, Boss Hog of Liberty, and my girlfriend, the lovely Sara Potter. And Dakota starts telling this story, and I have to stop him immediately. I said, I don't know where the story's going, Sarah, but at some point, Dakota may be showing us his new silk underwear,
right?
And I guess that's where we'll pick this up for the podcast.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. Is I got 100% all-natural silk for the summertime.
Not that he showed us his underwear. What ended up happening was his new underwear that he got.
Yes. It does not have the little wiener hole in the front of the underwear.
There's no easy access flap.
There is no easy access flap.
I think
Unlike
you're the only
ones,
person that uses that.
The cotton ones have a nice little button that's super easy. You can just one-hand it. Boop. Done.
Yeah, I've never done a poll. Maybe this is going to be the first We're Libertarians poll. We'll have Dakota on his Twitter. Dakota, we're going to assign that as a task. He's going to ask, gentlemen, guys only answer this. Do you use the flap on your underwear? And we'll put that up
See, this
tonight.
is all new information for me. I just thought that everybody used it.
Yeah, when I was like 7, I might have used it. But
Whenever I was 7, I definitely didn't use it. I just pull the front of my pants down.
Well, and then I've regressed because that's what I do now. I don't know.
See, I was informed of this whenever I was a teenager because one of my friends went swimming at another friend's house. And so she went swimming in her own underwear, I guess. And then she got underwear from somebody else that was clean, obviously.
We're going to make an executive decision real quick. We do need to unplug that ice maker.
I told you we needed to.
It sounds like an airplane is taking off in my ears.
But anyways,
it's an ice maker.
She had borrowed a pair of underwear from a friend who happened to be a male, and she goes, what's the little slot in the front for? And obviously he was like, well, that's for
decorative.
If you need to pee, you can just pull it out and go. And she's like, oh, okay. And so I was like, oh, well, that makes sense, because I'd had a couple pairs of like PJ pants that were men's PJ pants, but they were for whoever, you know. And I was like, there's a little button and it opens. Great, okay. Not really sure what that's for, but I was glad she asked the question so I didn't have to.
There you go.
It is actually totally shocking to me that
somebody wouldn't.
Yeah, that somebody wouldn't.
Well, maybe I'm the minority, but yeah.
Interesting. But we also came up to the discussion that Jeremiah doesn't have to pee outside whenever he has to pee at work.
Right. No,
you have access to restrooms.
I have restrooms, and if I did go outside, I would be the strange one that's peeing in a city of 60,000 people surrounded by a factory. So I'd go out to the parking lot and whip it out, and I would be like peeing on the fence line behind the alley of the liquor store, which people do that, but it's not on purpose. Normally they're,
Yes, and usually there's repercussions to that action.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what would happen if one day I'm out in a substation and I open up a bin door on the bucket truck and start to pee like normal, and a cop drove by. Would he say something? Like, is that public urination, or Is that like, listen, man?
I don't know. There's so many sanitary questions about what you do, though. I mean, what if you accidentally flick a little bit up on the door, like on the
On the bin door?
on the bin door or a speaker cover or something?
No, I mean it's not like it's the. I don't open the door to the cab, and I always carry my Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer with me.
Well, that's
What
fine.
scent do you use?
I don't know. It's one of the.
It's my anti-urine scent.
No, Audrey
Is it one
buys
of the
them all
men
for me.
ones?
It's one of the men's ones.
What color is it?
It's a blue one.
Okay.
It smells really good.
The black one was the worst smell I've smelled in my entire life in my classroom because there were 4 boys who used it all at the same time. And I was just like, did somebody find Axe around here? Because
I was about to say that's like the new
And I
Axe
was like,
body
"Woo!"
spray.
I learned so much. All right. Well, off of that pre-discussion that we had, we're already 5 minutes into the show and we haven't even started, Dakota.
Well, look at that.
We got some feedback from our syndicator, Dear Leader. He's been listening. He's been checking in on us, and you apparently have been given your first warning.
It was like being sent to the principal's office.
You've been chastised. You've been told you have to do better,
I have to do better.
or I don't know what he's going to do.
Otherwise, Jesse Riddle's going to take my place, and I don't think that is for the good of humanity.
it's probably not good. For
I mean,
anybody.
I took his place in Henry County, and it's already one-fold better.
We can't be backsliders here. So, the critique from Dear Leader, you were told that you don't talk fast enough, which I think is probably more of a I'm from Eastern Indiana thing than a hey, I'm dumb and I'm not this big city fast
I never
talker.
realized that I talked slow.
Well, I like it whenever people talk a little bit slower on podcasts because I like to listen to them at 1.5 speed. So if they're talking normal, like in a normal conversation, then sometimes when that 1.5 speed goes, it's just like, and I'm like,
How do you
I missed
listen to
that.
me speak at my normal rate of speed, which is faster, and then Dakota at his quarter pace,
You're welcome,
It's not
Sarah.
a quarter pace.
his backwoods.
His
My
backwards.
backwards quarter pace.
And then the other part was actually even more offensive. You
He
don't
said I was low energy.
you don't project.
Yeah.
Do you even know where your diaphragm is?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know, like, basic anatomy, so I know where the diaphragm is.
Right, right. Of course, that's that try high school education.
That's right.
So yeah, you didn't. You're not projecting into the microphone apparently.
Yep,
So have
I
you-
got 3 things. I talk slow, I'm very low energy, and I do not speak from the diaphragm and project myself. And I said, I don't even know how to speak from the diaphragm. That was my first reply, and he said, just listen to Jeremiah and learn how. I'm like,
Do we need to assign you homework?
I think so.
I think he needs a voice coach.
Well,
I mean-
I try to reach out to Dakota and talk to him, and at this point, I have to do a weekly podcast to even get any FaceTime with the man.
Ugh,
It's very difficult to get time with Dakota.
it
Yeah.
is. I'm a busy man,
He's very busy
especially in the summertime.
because everybody's running their damn air conditioners.
Yeah. Shut
And-
those things off.
Dakota's going to turn into Jimmy Carter, and he's going to mandate temperatures of your houses. There's going to be a rule.
Yeah.
Once again, Boss Hog Empire goes far and wide, and Dakota had the mayor of Newcastle come to his place of work to remind him that Dakota had the power off for half the city, and it needed to be turned on right away.
I did. He said, he said, the power's off. He said, I'm the mayor, and the power's off. And the first thought that popped into my mind, and it's probably a good thing I didn't say it, I just thought, I've realized that is why it is 8:30 in the evening, and I am at work and not at home. I don't know if he thought that, like, we worked second shifts, or what was going on, like, if he just thought that maybe it's because I talk slow, and he thought I was dumb, and didn't realize it.
Maybe he thought you were just the guy that watches the gate
Yeah.
to make sure the real people are doing their job.
He was...
When he said, "I'm the mayor," I really think you should have said, "Well, I'm Dakota, and I'm the chairman of the Libertarian Party. Nice to meet you."
Yeah, I should have. I should have.
That would have been my response.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I should have said,
Yeah.
oh, I'm Dakota Davis. I'll be running against you in 2018.
Get ready to debate, Greg. Yeah. So that's what's going on in Dakota's world.
Yeah.
Sara is done with teaching for the summer, I guess, right? You're off on summer break, so you got nothing going on. You're just basically hanging out at your boyfriend's house, lounging by the pool, living the good life.
Nope, that's definitely not what's happening. I work a second job during the summer to
I
pay off those
thought
student
teachers had
loans.
summers off.
Well, when you get paid a amount of money a year, you can't really not do something during the summer, especially when you're trying to pay off those student loans faster. So you come into things with less debt.
The two ladies that mow my yard are teachers as well.
Interesting.
You don't mow your own damn yard?
No.
How much
I
do
don't.
these teachers charge you to mow their yard?
I pay them $20.
Per cutting? Per week?
Right, per cutting, which is basically per week.
Once a week. So you spend $80 a month.
Yeah.
My parents spend $100
to have your hair, your grass hairs cut,
To have my grass hairs cut.
and then you spend another $40 a month to have your own hairs
your
cut.
head hairs cut.
I haven't been to get my hair cut in 3 weeks.
Take your hat off for me.
Look at this. It's embarrassing.
It's
There's
almost
no
as long as
fade.
your beard.
There's
Yeah.
no fade.
There's no fade. It's all one length.
It's just sad.
It is.
Someone's been busy.
It's just sad.
That's
You're wearing
why
a different
I had
hat.
to
What
get
hat are you
I had to get a
wearing?
new hat because of it.
It's not your convention of the states. It's
No.
a Hook'em Horns, Texas thing.
It's
I don't know what you got going on.
it's metal.
It's a rock-on shirt.
Yeah.
So metal.
Very, very, very,
I
very
got
progressive.
I got 2 new hats, and the other one is waiting to be debuted at Jeremiah's birthday bash.
Oh, I've seen this one. It's a golfing hat.
It is a golfing hat. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Well, don't be.
Don't
I also
be.
I got Jeremiah a birthday present too.
Yep. We're planning my.
No, you don't know about this
my-
one. This one's a
Oh,
surprise.
another one.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
an actual birthday present.
We're
I thought it
planning
was
my.
just a banner.
We're planning my 34th birthday. It's a historic one.
Gosh, you're old.
It means I'm halfway to 65, which means I guess halfway to retirement. I don't know.
Not halfway, not quite. You haven't been working since you were 1.
Well, I mean, 35 times 2.
That's
I'm
70.
halfway through my life. It's close, 34, 35. I mean, halfway through your working career, we're supposed to retire between 65 and 70.
Man, that has to be really depressing knowing that you're halfway through your life.
Halfway through my life? Hell, it could be tomorrow, Dakota, or it could be, I don't know, 70 more years.
Yeah, but more than likely it's not. But
More than
once
likely,
you're 70, the odds have greatly increased.
More than likely, I'm probably not halfway through yet, especially if you live this long. As long as I can stay off the heroin, I think I'll probably be okay.
You do live in Newcastle.
That's true. They force feed it to you if you're north of
Yeah.
if you're north of Q Avenue.
Hey, wait a minute.
That means you, Dakota.
between Q and A, it's
I will say that I think that I'm the only person on my street that pays to have my yard mowed.
you'd have a postage stamp yard. You have to. It's not big.
Right, but see, what happened was my lawnmower broke.
I have 2. Do you want to borrow one?
No, because
Hell, I'll do yours for $18.
I'm
a
helping
cutting.
out local school teachers.
Oh, this is.
They are poor old ladies.
Yeah,
How do you know they're old?
I'm assuming
They're really not
that
old.
They're
They're like-
probably in their at least 50s.
no, they're really not.
No?
No, they're probably Jeremiah's age.
Oh my God.
So they're still paying off
Did
their
I go to
student
school
loans.
with these girls? These ladies? These women?
I don't know. I don't remember their names.
Do you pay them cash?
Yes.
Do you know you're supposed to tip your grass cutter as well?
I don't think that's true.
I think you are.
Especially if it's once a week. I mean, it's kind of the same.
Actually, I don't think they're coming this week because we've been in a little bit of a dry spell.
Yeah, my grass isn't cut right now because it's dry, and all my neighbors have their grass cut real low. Gary, the former mayor slash embalmer and undertaker in town,
Wonderful.
he cut his grass too low and it's burning.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about mine. It's going. There's a
Right.
little bit of clover showing, but I
My
feel
my
good
neighbor
about it.
does that every year. He's a baby boomer, retired from Dana Corp.
in Richmond, probably Richmond, Indiana.
No, here in Newcastle.
Dana was in Newcastle as well.
Yeah, it used to be. Well, it was, and then it was Grady.
Oh, Grady Foundry, yes,
Right.
of course.
And he mows his yard like compulsively, probably 2 to 3 times a week. He gets out and mows.
Can
it,
you
like,
imagine how much money that would cost?
like even
$20 a cutting 2 or 3 times a week.
no, he does it himself.
I know, but if he was charging,
Right, if he was charging, but he literally goes out there and compulsively cuts his grass.
Right now, one of our autistic listeners is yelling out the answer. Well, you take 20 times 4, plus in July there were 5 weeks, and you're going to cut the grass from April to November. It was $742, Jeremiah. Sorry, I'm just helping them. They're going through a car wash right now,
anyway,
yelling at the radio.
Long story short, after he gets finished cutting his grass, he gets out his shop vac and sweeps it out of his lava rock landscaping.
Yes.
That is intense.
Lava rock landscaping, though. That's not bad.
When you have the time, you can do all of that stuff.
That's the problem, is I am so much the outcast, like the outcast in the street of being the person that still has a day job. I live alone, and I have these house parties, and I'm doing really well to just have the beer bottles picked up and have the pool operating. By the way, my pool right now looks terrible.
It really does.
It's gone. It's taken a turn.
Thank you, Aaron.
Sarah, yeah. I thought I had it under control, and then Aaron Ewert came to visit me, and he took his monthly bath in there. And and it turned green. It was almost as bad as the time James Neese got in my pool. So yeah, no, I put the summer cover on it, the solar cover, and then like a fool, I went away for 4 days, and the pool went from about 74 degrees to about 86 degrees, and
nice.
It got a little stagnant because I didn't have the pump running 24/7 for that maneuver. And,
at least it's warm.
It's warm, and it's swimmable. It's fine, but it looks like the Rio de Janeiro Olympics where they were swimming in the green. So we're efforts are underway to get that corrected. So,
yeah, you taught me how to use the chemical kit today.
That's right. We worked through it today. And then I think, I don't know if we've talked about it on this podcast or not. Sarah, you might be able to help me, or Dakota. Have we talked about my truck?
Well, I was about to say, like, you have one friend come over and he ruins your pool.
Yep.
You have another friend that you let borrow your truck.
Yeah,
he ruins it.
My boy Brett. I was bitnered about a month ago. Brett was getting a new couch and a grill, and I let him borrow my truck, and I went to the Speedway to watch qualifying for the Indy 500. And I got these texts from Brett saying, "Hey, we need to talk." I'm like, "Dude, I just saw you. We don't need to talk. It's all right." And he's like, "I want to call you." And he's like, there's literally an IndyCar engine running in the background. I'm standing 10 feet from it, and I was, then he finally sends me the text, and he had an accident. He's taking care of it. It's going to be okay, but he had a flat tire, and there was some damage. So the folks over at Riley and Sons Auto Care are taking care of me, and I dropped my truck off yesterday. So within a week, I should have a pristine 15-year-old rusted truck back working again.
We have listed so many companies in this podcast and in other podcasts, previous episodes, that I feel like we're an episode of Bob and Tom, where like every 30 seconds we have to stop and say, "My Harry's razor."
Yeah.
What are you drinking over there, Dakota? You've got your PBR.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yes, and I've got my Yingling Black and Tan, and Sarah has a. What are you drinking?
There's an Oberon, but then I also have my San Pellegrino.
Oh, she's
blood
got
orange
2
flavor.
drinks going. She's got
Double
her bells.
fisting on the podcast.
She's got her bells, and she's got
And
her.
I've got juice. It's not Bell's. Well,
It
it's
is made by Bell's.
It's made by Bell's.
It's not their Two-Hearted,
but it's not the
Oberon.
soapy one. It's the one that tastes good. So.
Oh, there you go.
I don't like the soapy one, which is the Two-Hearted one.
That's Greg's beer.
I know, and
Greg.
I gave it a fair shot because I knew he loved it. So I was like, okay, well, he's probably got decent taste. I'll try it, see if I like it. Did not like it.
So now
tried it again.
You're questioning his taste. Greg doesn't have good taste.
In beer, maybe.
So
in other things, possibly. I don't know.
Speaking about father's taste,
yes,
we went camping, and we talked on
you and Greg,
me and my father.
Oh, your other
your
father,
real dad.
You're not my real dad.
Your biological dad.
My biological father. Yes. We were camping, and as we talked about a couple of episodes ago, I'm super big on cigars.
Yes.
Love them. Love to enjoy them. And so I had a Brick House. It was a limited edition, got number 2 in the year 2014 by Cigars International.
How official are any of these rankings?
They're very official. And I bought it. They were marked up quite a bit. It's a $20 cigar. Long story short.
You've lost Sarah's interest. She walked away.
She did walk away.
She can't be hearing about this.
It's because I'm low energy, isn't it, Sarah? Is it because my voice is slow or I'm low energy?
It's because I have to tend to my womanly duties in the kitchen.
Ah, understand.
I think you could hear that. She took her shoes off and went in the kitchen barefoot, and now she's tending to making food. She's making dessert that Dakota will refuse to eat.
Yes. But so I'm like, hey, Dad, I got these cigars. You should try one. He's like, oh, all right. So we're sitting around the campfire enjoying beer, and he's like, he fires it up, takes a little torch, and he takes a few puffs, and I was like, what do you think? He goes, tastes like a Swisher Sweet. Yes.
Crushing.
So how much did you say you paid for that again?
$20.
$20.
It was a $20 cigar, and
you could have had 2 for 99 cents.
I felt this sharp pain in my gut. It was like how I imagine every parent feels whenever their child comes home.
When their child comes home and says, "I want to go to Indiana University."
whenever their child came home,
nothing but pride in my home when that happened. Nothing but pride.
Whenever they came home in 2016 and said that they supported Bernie Sanders for president.
Equally as shameful. One leads to the other. You go to university and then
you
support
you're
Bernie.
a Bernie
You become
supporter.
a Bernie bro.
I mean, we have heard Sarah talk an awful lot about student debt.
But I am responsible for my own student debt, and I don't want somebody else to pay for it.
It could have been free.
Could have been free.
Could have been free.
You know what? I'm paying for my education with
Did
the help
you
of
really
my
go to
parents.
UC Berkeley?
No.
Speaking about
She went
that,
to UC Bloomington.
Jeremiah did tell a young lady who was at the last BHOL pool party. She's a friend of mine and a friend of Audrey's, a really good friend of Audrey's. We invited her here for the first time. I knew that she was a huge Bernie supporter, which should come as no shock. She's a 20-something in college. And Jeremiah says, I'm Jeremiah Morrell, and I'm the boss hog of liberty. Have you ever listened to my podcast? And she says, no, obviously. And
I don't know. We have huge listener ratings. I don't know who these people are, so I just that's nothing special for her. I ask everybody that now.
Right.
Audrey might share the podcast with her friends. We don't know.
She could, but he says, oh, we're just two guys here in Newcastle, and we're huge Bernie supporters, free college for everybody, Medicare for all. And she's like, she just looks at him and goes, I really appreciate that.
Well, good. She likes me, but she likes me for the wrong reasons. I made a friend, but yeah.
And
you had given me the primer. You told me ahead of time, so I had that ready.
And if I'm not mistaken, Chris Spangle ended up going up to her later in the evening and saying, so, Dakota tells me you're a socialist.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I know how to make an impression on the ladies. That's the... there's a note here. Dakota cryptically had his show notes for us today. He's trying to do his part as Greg, and Greg will give us 9 or 10 pages of show notes. Dakota did put 3 different line items in there, and he wanted to talk about his pickup lines in texting. And the way I heard that you and Audrey had worked it out or got together was you put gum in her hair. So I don't know how did you text an apology? How did this go down?
What? Well, I didn't really want to talk about pickup lines. Like, every guy has their own, stereotypical thing that they'll go through whenever they're talking to a woman. They're interested in her, and they're trying to put the moves on her. Apparently, I was not very good at it because, as I said, I put gum in Audrey's hair my senior year of high school. I was pretending like I was going to while she had her head turned.
That's a classic 7-year-old's move, and you pulled it off in the 12th grade. So good job.
It's just
pulled it off at 18.
It's just like the wiener flap. Classic 7-year-old move.
Exactly. Well, we know how far Dakota's advanced in life.
So
can't wait to be in your wedding later this year.
Yeah, I'm pretending to put gum in her hair to look cool, and if it tells you anything about the maturity levels of me and my friends.
What kind of gum was it? Was it bubble gum or was it something? Was it Trident?
I don't remember.
What kind of gum do you chew?
Gum.
Do you chew bubble gum or do you chew?
I always chew minty gum.
Tape on a roll of the rolled up.
The rolled tape.
Bubble tape.
The bubble tape. Yes.
Okay, for the point of this story, we'll say it was bubble tape because that's
grape. Surely it was grape.
Grape because it's probably stickier, so it'll make it funnier.
All right.
So
we've negotiated the facts. Please continue.
It slips out of my hand, and this glob of gum goes straight into her head, and she starts freaking out, right? And her friend starts freaking out. First thing her friend does is take some scissors and cut a chunk out of her hair. That is how we first started talking, because I apologized for it. And then summer rolls around, and I'm texting her all through the summer while I'm at work. I'm thinking I'm putting the moves on her, and I'm like, this couldn't be more clear.
This is going great.
Person. And then the next school year starts up. So, I mean, we're talking like an 8-month period, right? And it's just been stagnant in this area, but I still think that things are going surprisingly well.
And then you meet her boyfriend.
I asked her out on a date, and she was totally taken aback, had no idea where it was coming
I thought
from.
we were just friends.
Yeah.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is exactly what she said.
Girls are oblivious to what guys do, and I think guys are oblivious to what girls do unless they really hit them hard.
And that was the first time in my life I ever felt that knife in the gut feeling that I was talking
That
about
Bernie
earlier.
Sanders knife in the gut.
Crushing. But it ended up working out. So
Did she tell you no?
she did tell me no. She totally rejected me.
Because you tried to take her to the Elks Club.
Not at that time. Not at that time.
What did you offer? Where'd you ask her to go?
I just asked her if she
Weenie
wanted...
World. Did you still want to go to Weenie World?
No, not Weenie World.
Did you bring quarters so then she could ride on all the little rides?
No, it was Frosty Boy in Knightstown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were you going to get her Frosty Boy pizza, or were you going to get ice cream?
I was going to get pizza and ice cream.
Oh.
See, that's where I took Sarah for our first date, which is coming up on a 1-year marking
Not
of the calendar.
Frosty Boy.
No, a pizza place.
A pizza place.
The Giordano's up on the north side.
Ooh.
Very, very. It was like a Chicago trip, but we didn't have to leave town.
That's a step up from Frosty Boy.
And let me tell you, Giordano's for a first date is a little intimidating. Because you're like, okay, we're going to be there.
I am the most intimidating person to go out on.
We're going to be there.
Because we're going to...
I can imagine.
You're going to be
You're
there
one of the most
for the entire time you have to wait on the pizza and make
Which is like
conversation for
45
about an hour.
minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And then the second date, it was, it's 4th of July, so we're going to go watch fireworks. By the way, my parents are coming. So,
Nice.
Poor Sarah.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I
Hey,
can
I
only imagine
survived.
how intimidating that first date with Jeremiah would be, because it's very intimidating whenever he continually texts you and asks you to come hang out with him. And you met the dude one time, and that time he thought that you were a homosexual.
You thought that I thought that. I was simply noticing that you do a better job with your landscaping. Turns out you farm it out to women that work for you in the summertime.
And you just had a buddy over.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were repairing my fence, which Jeremiah will be helping me do in the next couple of weeks.
Is it the same weekend that he has a buddy coming over to help him do something here?
Off
Yeah.
topic, we got canceled on that one.
Aw.
He's canceled on us. He's found something else to do that weekend. He's making money with somebody else. So
He was supposed to do my foundation, too.
well, he will. It's just that
It's
weekend.
just whenever he's not going to
he's
be
picked up
booked
some
making
additional
money.
work.
This
Yes.
is
Because
disappointing.
unfortunately for his job, what they do for his particular
We don't need to
area
get
of
into it.
work.
So
we
wait,
don't need to get into
We
it.
don't need to get into it? Okay.
Don't need
So
to
wait,
get into it.
I'm confused here. Do his internet and cable providers, they don't accept beer as payment on his bills?
No, they want real money.
Huh.
Real
Interesting. That
Real
would,
money.
I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, if you gave this individual beer, this individual could probably trade that beer for money and then go pay the Duke Electric Company so that they could pay you and the economy could circulate around and around and around.
Around a single case of beer.
All around. The can of PBR that made the world go around. we could use anything for as currency. It could be paper money, or it could be PBR cans. As long as everybody traded in it and valued it, it would work. Dakota's not paying attention anymore. He's looking at the dog.
He was rolling around on the floor making funny faces.
Sarah's fallen into the trap as well, and here I am all alone broadcasting.
It's a lot better
projecting.
than him farting like last time.
Well, give him time. Give him
He
time.
got steak tonight, though.
Ooh.
The fatty pieces, but still.
Yeah. Steak 2 nights in a row. I've had steak 2 nights in a row over here. I think
you
I'm
gone-
out of food. I need to look in there. I think I need to pull something else out of the freezer.
I honestly think he is out of food.
Have you gone
No more
full-blown
sides.
keto diet?
I
or
have not.
Are you going to be wrecking my truck next?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. It's been a weird, 2 days because I haven't had my truck. And I didn't think it would bother me, but I'm like, I could take my boat out tonight. And it's just a thought of I could take my boat out. I didn't have time. I wasn't going to do it. But I can't tow the boat with the company car.
Right.
And I don't have my boat. I didn't have it last night when I was like, I could go back to the lake and go to the... And I couldn't do it.
So where'd you take your boat? Is it in the garage?
It's in the garage.
Oh, okay.
But I can't tow it to the lake.
Okay.
Because my truck is in the garage.
Because it
in
got
the shop.
bitnerd.
Because I was bitnerd. So, yeah. It's kind of sad. So, yeah, the story on me, my texting story, is I play hard to get. I'm very busy. And Sarah had to harass me, basically. It's forced friendship. She was in my DMs. And then,
this is true.
And then I said, yeah, let's go. We'll go out to dinner. And then and then she had no choice because then I was just scheduling stuff, and then she's on the calendar, and that's the way it went down.
Pretty much.
That is exactly how I imagined it would have went down with Jeremiah.
It is. It's yeah.
It's just a business. He's
let
like,
me talk to you for a while.
He's like, okay, Sarah, on my calendar tonight, we have us going to get pizza.
Yep.
And then
I
will be taking you home.
I have a lot of time for this.
9:10.
Yep.
And then I will be getting home at a decent hour so I can go to sleep and get up for
and
work
go to
the
work
next morning.
That is the way my life works, Dakota. That is unfortunately exactly the way my life works.
It's okay. I like being on a schedule.
And that's why the libertarian parties or whatever, the parties and things that we do, I schedule them 6 weeks in advance so that they're on the calendar. Once something's on the calendar, it's pretty well in stone.
Non-negotiable.
But if it's not on the calendar yet, then there's no guarantees. So I think right now we're probably scheduling things in August.
Almost there.
Yeah, but I've got you plugged in
are.
for Labor Day right now, I believe. So
you're going down on Labor Day?
We're planning on it.
Nice.
Unless something changes.
All right.
That's our intention.
That's probably a good thing. I have a friend coming up from Alabama on 4th of July.
See?
So.
Yeah.
Well, and he has other commitments on the 4th of July.
We got to go to the
up here.
fireworks on the 4th of July up here.
He's got a special spot, so we can't give that up.
Special spot. You didn't invite me?
President of the park
You
board.
have to do stuff. If you want to go to the 4th of July,
You're going to be at the lake.
I don't schedule things on a calendar like that. I live my life on a whim.
The 4th of July happens every year, man. It happens every year. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. It's a 4-day weekend for me, though.
Yeah,
Saturday,
it's
Sunday,
a 4-day weekend for
Monday,
me, too.
Tuesday. I will be doing the way that I got my radio announcer voice is through horse shows, and I will be on the public address, I believe, as long as my brother hasn't fired me in the last 10 minutes. I am going to be on the public address on Saturday, July 1st, at the Henry County Saddle Club, doing the speed show, saying horse things. Get time on that ride, or whatever it is. You say the name of the individual, the rider. You give them a working order.
Whenever you are announcing horse shows, is it a horse show or
It's a horse
is it a
show.
race?
It's a show.
It's a show.
You might do a barrel race, like a flag race or a barrel race or a keyhole, but the entire production is called a show.
So when you announce these shows / a barrel race, is your announcing voice, is it kind of like a golf announcer, or
Real
is
hush
it
tone? No, it's big.
Or is it more like football?
It's more big in production. So it's like working now, class number 1, pony barrels. Pony barrels is next. On deck, class 2, horse barrels, and in the hole, class number 3 will be keyhole horse senior exhibitors. Your working order for class number 1, horse, whatever the hell it was, pony barrels. Entry number 1, 2, 3, Dakota Davis, riding I Don't Give a Damn. On deck will be Sara Potter.
That sounds quite a bit like golf.
Yeah.
You know what our 3rd or 4th date was?
What?
County fair.
The county fair, yeah. Yeah.
And I got
That's when I assigned Sarah the title. I will be introducing you as my girlfriend. Do you accept? Yes, I do. Okay, great. Well, that's settled. That was
It
the.
didn't become Facebook official until September, though.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day.
I remember
And I was
seeing
like,
it
oh,
whenever
shoot.
it became Facebook official.
That was
because
3 months after.
I told Audrey, I was like, you know Jeremiah? Yeah. He got a girlfriend. What? Jeremiah has a girlfriend?
What?
Yeah. Because, I always had it in my head off of my first few impressions of you that you, really enjoyed just doing your own thing.
Right.
He does.
So.
Oh, yeah, I'm fiercely independent even still.
Right. That's why it came as such a shock. I was like, man. It just seemed odd. You're just such an independent person.
He still
that
is.
I couldn't see you being with another person at constant moments. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, we're still adjusting.
We haven't been veterans in this whole relationship thing like you and Audrey. So
No, it's not an arranged child marriage,
Right.
like what you're going through. It's much later. For me, she's, Sarah's still an infant, but, early 20s.
mid.
Well,
Mid-20s.
I was told she was
Mid-20s.
22, officer. So yeah, that's the texting story. Sarah was in my direct messages. That's the way that went down.
Only on the council of Chris Spangle.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Hey, you should ask him about Rex Bell." And I said, "Okay. Speaking of Rex Bell, I have something that you need to give to him. Don't let me forget."
Okay.
And I can't speak about it on the podcast because he might listen.
Duly noted. All right. I will hold on to it. So, Dakota, you wanted to talk about Donald Trump's approval rating.
Yeah, his approval ratings.
Donald Trump is still the president as of the moment we're recording this podcast on Tuesday, June 13th, approximately 8 o'clock p.m.
Right.
I don't know if he will be tomorrow. Things did not go well today in this Jeff Sessions testimony.
No. And see, that's what I was reading today. Only 35% of Americans actually approve of Donald Trump, which is incredibly low numbers
Sure.
for a president of the
Well,
United States.
Considering how much he won, well, I mean, it was half and half, but with the electoral votes, how much he won by, you'd think he'd at least have.
Well, see, that was my
50%.
thing.
There's also a massive number of people that never voted at all, but they're probably
True,
in
true.
your totals,
Right.
in your approval totals.
See, I saw this, and I thought, there's no way. That was my initial thought. He has to be higher than that. And the more I started looking up different news sources. They were all pretty much the same. And I still am having a hard time believing that Donald Trump has approval ratings of roughly 35%. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm from...
He's 3 times what Congress is. I think Congress is 10% or so, historically.
Right. And see, I don't know if it's because I'm from Indiana and everybody is rural and in love with Donald Trump and Mike Pence right now, but it seems like
slow talkers.
Yeah, it seems like every single one of my Facebook friends, every time that Donald Trump does something, even though they might have hated the idea, if a liberal came up with it, they're all about it now that Mr. Trump did it. And it just is blowing my mind with everything that's going on, and it's hilarious and kind of nerve-wracking at the same time.
So I was on the We Are Libertarians episode last week that was released. It's the James Comey episode, I think is what they've got it titled as. I don't have the episode number in front of me. But we spent some time talking about Trump and not his approval rating, but his possibilities to get anything done. And the main point I came away with at that point was that it's, his reelection. People are already starting to think about that, but he's only a quarter of the way through of 1 year basically, or halfway through a year. A quarter
Right.
of the way through the presidency that he would have. And I really think that this next session that they have coming up, the legislative session, the summer session, they have to get one of the big things done, whether it's healthcare or taxes or highway bill or something has to get done and through the process this cycle, or else he's going to lose the news cycle completely, and it's all going to be about this Russia deal and this investigation, and
Right.
it's going to start to spiral because it's going to be midterms. Then you lose. Historically, you're going to lose seats in the Congress anyway. Every incumbent does. Obama did. Bush lost the House, and I think Clinton obviously lost it in '94. So
It just seems to me like I feel like the biggest reason that the Democrats lost this election is because they are so out there with everything that the media portrays with modern day leftists. The young millennials like me have completely polarized on this far left end of the spectrum. And I feel like that is what the media focuses on because they're trying to be more progressive and politically correct. And I think that has polarized a lot of people that might be independent but had slightly lefter leanings,
right.
and would therefore vote Democrat in most elections. And I think that's a big reason why they lost. And it seems like things just keep getting farther and farther out there the more that we watch it, which is why I thought maybe Donald Trump's approval ratings would actually be higher than 50%, which is, I mean, it would totally make sense in my mind with the way that the political climate is right now. But that's why it blew me away that 35%.
Hannah Diane Morrell is trying to call me in the middle of my podcast.
Your sister?
My sister.
Does she listen
Baby
to this
sister.
podcast?
Oh, I doubt it.
Huh.
I doubt it. We're going to text her and let her know that she's interrupting. It's very sad.
This is on the schedule tonight, Hannah.
Yeah, exactly. This is Tuesday. It's scheduled.
I was wondering how, like, if it would bother you whenever we were trying to set a time up for this. And see, I knew that I would probably be here between 7 and 7:30, but I wanted to see if it would bother you that I just said, well, the most I can do is say it probably won't be after 8.
No, that doesn't bother me at all. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. It was more important to me as I'm looking at my schedule going, my dad's birthday is Thursday. So I've got it penciled in that I'm probably going to end up being down there. So your backup plan of going to Thursday was a non-starter. So then at that point, my negotiation goes to, well, find whatever way we can make Tuesday work so that we don't have to reschedule. And Sarah's here.
Yeah.
So my logic was, no, if Dakota says 9 o'clock or 9:30, we're going to suck it up and make it work.
Yeah, I only said Thursday because I don't have to work on Friday.
Really?
I've worked too many hours the first 3 days of this pay period. So if I kind of need to take Friday off, it kind of balances the scales for me.
Right.
So I get a paid day off, though.
That works out. We'll take it. Sarah
Yeah.
doesn't give a damn, though. She just walked away.
No,
She's
she keeps
disappeared.
walking away. This is very rude and disrespectful.
Yeah, she's not even getting us more beers. I don't know what's going on.
I'm okay. I'm just going to stick with the one tonight.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all I need.
So your boy Trump, he seems to have picked a new North Korean ambassador.
Right, yeah.
Do you know? Do you remember Dennis Rodman as a basketball player, or is he just a guy that you've heard of at this point?
He's just a guy that I've heard of.
You never saw him play basketball or remember it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember it, at least.
So yeah, he was already well into his NBA career when I became aware of him. He won a championship or multiple championships in Detroit with the Pistons in the early '90s, before you were born. And then before you were born, he probably was a San Antonio Spur, and he had a pizza endorsement. And this is literally where I learned about Dennis Rodman was he was the first guy to eat a pizza backwards, the stuffed crust pizza. He was different, and he ate the cheesy crust pizza.
Nice.
In the commercial. And then he really became big time. That was like when he was starting to get his tattoos. When he played for Detroit, he was a totally normal dude.
Oh, wow.
He was not weird at all. He was just a great defensive player.
That's hard to imagine.
And then he went to San Antonio, kind of started to get that identity. And then he went to the Bulls and was like this freak of a person with the tattoos. and now the tattoos aren't as big of a deal, but at the time, in the early, at that point, they were not as socially acceptable for somebody.
Right,
Yeah.
in the
He
early
was like
90s,
the only guy
someone
that was
in the
covered
media
that
a
way.
lot. And,
Yeah,
Well,
he
and
was
his
cross-dressing,
hair
and his
color.
hair was white, or it was purple, or it was...
He had different colors of hair at different times, which nowadays nobody bats an eyelash at it. But back then it was a big deal, especially for a man.
He was like 20 years before his time.
Yeah.
Now you would just say, yeah, whatever. He's a hipster. It doesn't matter. And now he's basically the North Korean ambassador.
Yep.
He flew to North Korea again today, lands, and they released a political prisoner, some young 20-some-year-old guy that I did a little reading on this today. Are you familiar with the story?
I think so.
He basically...
I think I remember seeing like something like a Now This or something corny video about it.
Yeah, the fellow basically was caught in a hotel trying to take down some sort of literature that they called propaganda.
Yeah.
And they arrested him, made him do a press conference. He had a 20-minute trial, and they assigned him 15 years of hard labor.
Right. Yes.
For trying to
That's the guy I remember.
Yeah, for trying to take down just some BS thing. It would be less than a misdemeanor here, and over there it was 15 years hard labor in a work camp.
Here it would be, hey, stop, don't do that.
Exactly. So, but the worm lands in North Korea, and they seem to have released the guy.
That is incredible.
Apparently, there's still 3 more political prisoners. I think they're all businessmen.
So
that are over there.
what we're getting from this? Okay, this wild guy. Okay, he's covered in tattoos. Does he have weird hair right now?
I haven't seen him in years, so I have no idea.
And he was also on The Apprentice too. He was like a reality dude who knows Trump, and he had been in some reality TV with our president.
So what was
So
that?
they have a relationship.
What was that movie that came out that was about Kim Jong Un?
The interview?
The interview.
Yeah, the interview.
With Seth Rogen and
Are we
James Franco.
discovering that Kim Jong Un is actually like his character in the interview? Do you think he's just over there partying with the old Denny boy, and he's like,
I think he likes to play basketball.
He's like, yeah, man, I'll let him out since you're cool. And Dennis is like, sweet, man. And then they get on the plane and fly back, and Trump's like, you did really good work. What's it like over there? And he's like, it's horrible.
I'm going to be honest. If negotiations like this work and they can keep from having bombs, I don't care.
Right?
I would much rather.
Awesome.
I would much rather work things out with diplomacy than to start another
Some
war.
basketball.
Yeah, some basketball diplomacy.
Some basketball.
Did you see the Olympics are going to? Speaking of basketball, there's going to be a new basketball event in the Olympics.
What's this?
No.
3-on-3, the Gus Macker, basically.
Nuh-uh.
The Gus Macker, you're going to have 3-on-3 Olympic basketball.
Oh, like, we need to sign our boy, what's his name, Michael?
Yeah, Vlade.
Vlade. We need to sign him up.
I want one
can
of our
do it.
listeners to figure out who those size 47s belong to. They're still out there by the pool.
They're still out
I
there?
have not touched them. Yeah,
I think they're Vlad's.
I feel like they might be. Sarah thought maybe they're lenses, but I didn't ask.
You
See,
think so?
he always wears boat shoes, though. That's the only thing. Is that I know he has Sperry's, but he also has ginormous feet. So,
I tried to steal his look at the last pool party, and then he totally went the opposite direction. It's 90 degrees outside, and the man wears a long-sleeve Henley shirt.
into the pool.
Into the pool.
My sister texted me. I said I'm podcasting, and she said, I just went to my last class of college, and I have a final at home next week. That better make your podcast. Well, it made the podcast, Hannah, but you need to actually listen to the podcast to answer and say, hey, yeah, I heard it. So, Hannah, Diane, if you hear that, I want you to comment on the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast.
Speaking
page.
of commenting on the Boss Hog of Liberty Facebook page, I, as one of the admins of the page, put out a post saying, hey, we're having a new podcast tonight. Can anybody guess what the topics are? And if you do guess, then you get a free one free ticket into the very exclusive Jeremiah Morrell birthday bash.
Oh.
So you're giving out your +1 to my exclusive birthday to a listener?
if they can guess. I mean, it
Is Audrey not coming?
she's
How many plus
coming. I can just
+1s
sneak
do you
her in,
need?
though.
Are you going to sneak her? You're going to put her over the fence like she's
Right.
she's a Mexican breaking into the country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I plan on doing. And no one commented on it. I didn't even get a single like.
You know what would be
you have 2 likes on there right now.
You need to
Are
share
you
it
serious?
from your own.
Why didn't I get any notifications?
That's a good question. The way you should make your entrance into the next party, back your truck up to the front of the house, climb on the roof, go over the top of the peak, go over the back of the roof, and jump into the pool. And make
That
your
would be
entrance.
awesome.
Nobody knows you're here. You just come barreling down the roof and jump in, and you're in.
I won't do that at the Jeremiah Morrell birthday bash because it's a very exclusive and classy event.
Plus, you will have spent time hanging my "It Is Your Birthday" banner.
Yeah. That
you should
would be
hang
good.
that from the roof.
I really should.
I think it needs to be somewhere lit, but maybe on the fence or with the new
With the
decorative
new
lighting by the
lighting.
pool.
Yeah, we can do that. For everybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, if you are a fan of The Office, then Jim was having a birthday celebration.
For
It was
Kelly.
Jim. Oh,
was
yeah,
Kelly- it was
for
Kelly's
It was
birthday.
Kelly's
I think
birthday.
Dwight and Jim had taken over the party planning committee.
Right,
They were
right.
part of the
That's what it
PPC.
was. And
I don't know. Did the women mutiny as they should have?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yes. They were ticked off at them.
Dwight was in charge of the birthday banner, so he prints out a banner and it just says in like Times New Roman font, it says, "It is your birthday." Period. And so Jeremiah finds this banner on Amazon and sends it into our exclusive group chat and says, "Someone needs to get this for me." So I bought it, being the person that I am.
Very impulsive.
Very impulsive. And it came in the mail. And I was expecting like this paper cheap banner. I was like, well, whatever. It'll be a funny story to tell. Like, even though I'm paying $24 for this,
Right.
it'll be a good story. And no, this thing comes, and it is like a professional vinyl, something that you would see hanging up in a school for their sectional regional win or something.
It's like a lifetime banner.
Right, and it's got
So
like
you
the
can hang
brass
it
holes
for
for
every
nails.
birthday.
Grommets.
Grommets.
Yes.
And I was like, this is so worth the $24 I paid for it. It's so satisfying.
So let's talk about birthdays. My birthday it's actually really fun because it's the summertime and you can have a pool party or you have people getting together. It's been around family vacations and get together. So my birthday being in mid-July is always a pretty good time. Sarah, your birthday probably is pretty good because it's a summertime birthday.
No, it sucks because as a teacher, if they know when your birthday is, they usually try to get you a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mine's like at the very beginning of the school year before they've even asked or even care. And so it's like, oh,
I would quit teaching
it
over
was
that
my
alone.
birthday.
I would give up.
See,
give up.
My birthday is January 1st.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is
Yeah.
your birthday is like it's like my dad's birthday is next week. It's always the same weekend as Father's Day, so he kind of gets hosed.
Oh, yeah.
I
get hosed the same exact way with Christmas.
yeah. Christmas happens, and you're like, oh damn it, it's Dakota's birthday again this week.
For my entire life, it has been, this is for Christmas and a birthday. But then it would be the, like, gift cards or something.
Right.
Because for some reason, Christmases in my family is just basically a giant gift card exchange. Mm-hmm. And I would look over, and it's like $10 more than what my sister's one is.
Happy
And then,
birthday,
you know,
Dakota.
so birthday
Hers
was
comes
$10.
around, and she gets like,
$100.
yeah, she gets
With their stuff.
the same like gift card as what she got at Christmas time. And it's like,
Remind us of your family makeup. You have one sister,
I have one sister.
Yes.
She's younger than me. Just graduated high school.
and you have no brothers.
No brothers. That
Except
I know
for
of.
Tanner.
Yeah. Except for Tanner.
Except for Tanner. So yeah, my sister is 11 years younger than me, and she grew up in a completely different household than I did.
Right.
Completely different. And she's the only girl, so she did very well when it came to gifts and things.
I can imagine.
She grew up in a world where she thought it was acceptable to be like, I need a MacBook for my birthday. All of my brothers that have jobs and my mom and dad that have jobs, you can all pool together and
Buy me a MacBook.
buy me a used $900 MacBook.
Right.
And, Dakota gets a $10 gift card.
Yeah, I got a. Speaking of that, that's actually kind of funny you brought it up, a MacBook, because whenever I graduated high school, it had, with all my cousins are older. My dad is one of the youngest in his family of all of his siblings. My grandparents would always get us laptops, and it wasn't like anything fancy. It was just like you're going off to college, so you need a computer of your own. Well, we'd get like a $300, $400 laptop.
An Acer or something, yeah.
Right. And actually, yeah, I did get an Acer
An Acer and HP, something very
right, I mean,
affordable.
I still have it and it still works.
Sure.
So it's whatever. I go over to my mom and dad's on Sunday.
I've never been to your house, so I don't know what your laptop is. That was just a lucky guess. I'm not the
That
creeper
is
you're making
super
me out to
creepy.
be. But that's what they
I
would
go
have.
to my-
Anyway, it's an Acer. It's a cheap laptop.
Right.
It's
I
almost
go to
one
my-
step above a Chromebook.
Yeah. I went to my mom and dad's on Sunday. My sister just graduated high school, and she's sitting at the dining room table with her brand new MacBook Pro with the custom pearl coloring on it. It's like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like this glitter overlay that even goes over the Apple symbol and everything.
Okay.
And I was
Is it like a case?
no, it's not a case. It's like it comes that way from the factory. You custom order it that way. And I was like, holy crap. Where did you get that? And she's like, oh, Grandma bought it for me. I was like, what? I go, oh my God. I was like, did you say thank you? She's like, well, yeah, I'm not rude.
Not rude.
Yeah.
It's just funny you were talking about your younger sister getting things like that. I totally relate, and my sister's only 4 years younger than me.
Yeah, like I said, growing up, my brother and I, it's like we grew up in 1940s Indiana. We grew up on a farm with no cable TV, and we had AM radio, and that was about it.
Right.
And then she grew up in the 21st century with everything. Not bitter. It's cool. It's fine. I got over it. It's all right. We didn't know any better.
I live comfortably.
We had goats,
Not
and
afraid.
we could start fires in the yards. We were fine. Bicycles, and
That's
all of
everything a
those
boy
things.
needs.
we're fine. We're lucky we didn't burn down the house. We also shot each other with BB guns and all of those things.
Of course.
Lots of there was a lot of destruction. Some of it still continues to come out. It trickles out over time.
Yeah.
So that's the way it goes. Well, do we have anything else we have to cover, or are we ready for final thoughts already? This feels like this is breezed by tonight.
It does. I'm good.
You got nothing?
I covered everything I wanted to.
Nothing to promote. I don't know. I'm just asking.
You're looking at me like I should have something
I don't know.
to promote.
I mean, hell, I don't know. It's fine. Sarah, you got anything? You gonna plug a Morgan County meeting or something?
Well, of course.
Because you have been attracting some people. I saw you had county chairmen from all over the state of Indiana. Your last one.
3 county chairmen from all the 6-letter M counties. You had Marion, Monroe, and Morgan represented at our place. We have a great time at Ralph and Ava's on the second Thursday of every month. And we usually get there around 6, 6:30, 7, depending on when we all roll in. But we have the piano guy who's there every Thursday. And so it's not that we put it on, but Ralph and Ava's, which is a restaurant in Mooresville, they have this guy come every Thursday, and he puts on a show. So last month, it was super exciting. The month before, it was just us and
very
Todd,
lame. It was
the
just
piano
us.
guy. But this past month, they had one table that was all football coaches from our town, and they were all having
a good time.
They were having a good time. So, obviously, no high schoolers were there, but they were having a good time. And then we also had a group of probably like 4 different couples that I think were celebrating somebody's birthday or something, but they were having a really good time. So, it was very entertaining. I sang along with the Lion King song, the lion sleeps tonight, that one. And so that was a fun thing. And then they had all kinds of different music that night instead of kind of just him warming up on his piano like it was the month prior. So yes, second Thursday of the month. I believe this next one would be.
How is that not a Friends song to you?
Huh?
How is that not a Friends song?
It's both, but Lion King
first
was more impactful on my life. So
I don't even know what you're referencing.
Really?
I mean, I know
it was
Friends,
when they were
the TV
sealing
show,
envelopes, right?
It was Ross singing it. He had a monkey. Ross had a pet monkey.
Yeah.
I never got into
What was
Friends.
the song that they
That's
were
because
singing?
you're 7 years old, Dakota.
Mine was How I Met Your Mother.
That's that song from that?
It's Friends Light.
Yeah.
Or you remember How I Met
No,
Your
like How I Met Your Mother was my generation's Friends.
Yeah, man.
So yeah,
Once again, I grew up in 1940s Indiana, where we had Channel 4 for Pacers games, Channel 6 for ABC, 8 for CBS, and 13 for NBC. So we had to watch Frasier, Wings, and Mad About You, and Friends, and Seinfeld. So Morgan County, Tuesday,
June 19th.
June 19th, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Yes, is
Until
until we get done. So usually we have a quick little business meeting and then we hang out. So it's a good time.
So
I enjoy it.
In my world, as the boss hog of Liberty, I have the official responsibility as Park Board Presidente. And we have a meeting on Monday, June 19th. Maybe yours is Tuesday, June 20th?
Oh, wait.
Perhaps.
I'm looking at the wrong date.
Uh-oh.
That's my bad.
Uh-oh. Monday, June 19th, I have the Memorial Park Board, the Henry County Council, and Henry County Commissioners are hearing from the Hope Committee dealing with the future of the park in which I am a board member for. So we have a big, hopefully, celebration coming up. So folks around Newcastle, come on out, support that, check it out. Hoping to have everybody come together and announce some visioning for the park going forward. A lot of people have put some hard work into it, and I think we're going to have some good things.
I am a terrible secretary. It's the second Thursday, not Tuesday.
Right. So we're going to say it's probably like the 23rd?
We already had it this month.
Right. Yep. So then it'll be like...
So the next one is
4th of July is going to get in the way.
July. No, it won't get in the way. July 13th is the second Thursday of July.
July the 13th.
You mean Tuesday?
No, Thursday.
Thursday.
She means Thursday.
I meant Thursday.
She means Thursday.
Okay.
I didn't get a good enough
You
nap
figure out
this
something to plug
afternoon.
yet, Dakota? You got anything?
Now are we doing final thoughts here?
That was final thoughts, yeah.
Oh, that was final
That
thoughts?
was final thoughts, yes.
You were just asking me if I had something to promote.
Right, that's what final thoughts are for.
Okay.
It's only our 11th broadcast. You're going to get it eventually.
Maybe one day.
Once you learn
I'm
to
still
promote
learning.
and how to project through your diaphragm.
Yeah. Once I learn that, I tried to be a little bit higher energy this time. We'll see what Dear Leader has to say about that.
Do we need to start recording these very early in the morning?
No, I'm not a morning person at all.
What kind of person are you? Because you seem to be pretty tired at the end of the day, too. Do we need lunch broadcasts?
I have a very taxing career. I'm tired all the time.
Of course. I thought this was the one thing that brought joy to your life.
Generally, I'm more of a second shifter.
Right.
I worked second shift at the hospital, and I was in my element.
When you were Doogie Howser, the doctor?
I was not a doctor. No, I was drilling holes in the concrete walls during the night, and I was in my element working second shift.
Practicing for the day you'd be a prison escapee.
Right. It was amazing. I felt great working second shift. I loved it. And now I cannot get out of bed for anything. I had to buy a special alarm clock called the Sonic Boom, and it is 120 decibels, and it has a vibration disc that goes underneath your mattress, and
I bet Audrey Joe loves that.
It has LEDs that also flash. It goes off like a strobe light, and it goes, wah, 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 and then the bed is going, vrr, 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 and sometimes it still has trouble waking me up.
That is awful, man.
Audrey swears that I am within an inch of death whenever I am asleep.
Do you have sleep apnea or anything like that?
No,
No?
I literally, I lay down, and
you're out.
I'm out. I don't move at all. My breathing becomes shallow.
And death slowly
scary.
creeps in.
And I will not wake up. Audrey said that one time I actually laughed at her in my sleep one time, and then she got on top of me and grabbed my shoulders and shook me.
Shook you back to
life.
life.
I was like, who's laughing now? Like, messing with me, like trying to joke around with me because she thought I was awake. And I have no recollection of any of that. She was yelling and shaking my shoulders.
Maybe you had too many Jell-O shots the night before.
No, like, that's just how I sleep.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
But anyway, you can add me on Facebook, like a couple of you have done already. I try to approve all of them, but you never know if it's like the NSA that's trying to watch you. So if you're a very attractive woman and do not make your profile picture you in a bikini, because I'll just automatically know, like, this is the government.
It's not real.
And so if like you're an actual listener out there, just change your profile picture and send me a new friend request because I deleted you. And you can follow me on Twitter. It's at a Tokad Savad. It's Dakota Davis spelled backwards, and there's no spaces, but Savad is capitalized.
And you're going to put up the Twitter poll tonight.
I am going to put up a Twitter poll tonight. So
fly or no fly?
Right, fly or no fly.
That is the question.
Do you use the wiener flap?
All right.
Do you know? Never mind. Okay. We're good. I'm done with my final thoughts.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, Dakota got his final thoughts in last because he was not paying attention when we asked for them earlier. But that's fine. It's all right. We're going to get there eventually. We're going to assign you some homework. I'm going to have you do some horse calls. You're going to practice announcing placings, calling for classes.
All right.
Working next is entry number 321. 321 on deck.
321.
On deck, Sara Potter on...
You were too quiet.
Bodie McBoatface. Yeah.
Low energy.
Bodie McBoatface.
Yes.
Bodie McBoatface.
Bodie McBoatface.
Now you're just trying to sound super deep. Not
I was trying
project.
to sound like Jeremiah.
I know.
How can I help you? Dakota? What do you need from me?
I don't even know at this point.
Did you sell your car yet, by the way? We got the punch list here.
Nope.
Did you sell your car?
No car,
Got
but
the price yet?
I mean, I haven't even posted it again on Facebook. I haven't posted it on Craigslist or anything, and I've been driving it around. It's just
Do you
whatever.
have a sign in your window yet?
Yeah, I mean, I have a sign. There's one lady that called me and she said she wanted to look at it, but she was going on vacation, and she went on that vacation apparently, and she must have bought another car.
She must have died.
She could have died. She
Yeah.
was an elderly woman.
Yeah.
Aw.
She probably wants those WeatherTech floor mats and the LED lights you added. You made it a super sport. She wants a super sport Chevy.
I never put any lights in it.
You
Jared.
did.
No, I did not.
You did.
I put lights in the truck.
And the doors. You put lights in the doors.
Yeah, those
the
are
magnet lights.
Those are like $3 lights that I bought off the Wish app.
Pimped out. All right. Well, so Dakota's got a car for sale and a dog that's not dead yet.
Nope.
More at 11. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody listening. It's an honor that you stuck with us this long. We look forward to many, many more episodes. If you like what you hear, 5 stars on the iTunes store. Obviously, you can like and subscribe. We're on Spotify. We are on the TuneIn app. We're in the iTunes store. We're in your podcast app, whatever it is, SoundCloud. I listen on Dogcatcher because I'm a unique Android listener. So whichever way you choose, we appreciate it. Nerd alert.
Screech.
Screech. That's the end of this one. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeareLibertarians.com.